Okay. Well, sometimes small groups are nice because you get to ask extra questions and have extra attention. We'll see how it goes. And maybe some others will join us if they see that the meeting got moved. So I'll hope for that. But welcome to anyone who's new. I don't recognize all the names, so I'm thinking at least a couple of you are new. I usually ask you to keep yourself muted until I get to the question point, and then you can unmute and ask away whatever you want to ask. So if you are one of the new ones, my name's Lisa. I'm the nutritionist of Raw Generation here, and each month we have these calls. Usually it's the first Wednesday of the month. Pretty much is the first one, I think, that has not been the first Wednesday of the month. I was away last week, so I had to move it to this week. And usually we're a group of closer to 20-ish, 25-ish people. So that's why it's smaller this week. But I hope you brought questions or just want to learn today. I'm talking about our newest products, because I don't know if you've been following our emails, but there have been a lot of new products the last month and a half. And I'm sure there's probably some questions about them. So I wanted to talk to you about those. And then I also wanted your opinion on a couple of new things potentially in the works. And I thought you guys might have some good insider feedback. So if you have a question while I'm talking, just do the little raise your hand button there and I'll stop and answer. Otherwise, I'll pause a couple times to ask if you have questions. So now first up is the new protein method. So I don't know if you guys saw that just launched yesterday. Now this protein method has been a long time coming. I don't know if you've seen our Stay Skinny method. That's our best selling weight loss system. And that is designed to come after our skinny cleanse or to be done by itself. It doesn't have to come after a cleanse. It's a weekly system. It helps you lose 2 to 3 pounds in a week. And it became a bestseller pretty much overnight, and it has held that spot for well over a year now because it really works. It helps people lose weight, helps you feel less bloated. It teaches you how to structure your day of eating with fats and carbs and everything else. It's basically a system I've used for close to 20 years myself and with my clients that I kind of turned into a program that we were able to provide for you guys. So the protein method is similar in the way it's structured, but it has higher protein in it for those who do the protein cleanse or who just want weight loss with higher protein. And I created this product a while ago, tested it with a test group, got kind of across the different results, not the best results that I wanted. So then I took the feedback from that group and I tweaked the product, and it's actually being tested again right now. But it's been tested a little bit prior to this also with much better results. So I'm doing a larger group testing it now just to get some extra, feedback. But it's working great so far and people are loving it. So the way it works is you have a green juice in the morning that stops your cravings in their tracks. Chlorophyll, if you don't know, if you haven't been here before, is nature's best detoxifier. So, and it also chemically changes your body chemistry and eliminates cravings. So if you chronically crave sweet things, what it basically means is you haven't had enough fruit during the day. And if you chronically crave salty things, it means you haven't had enough chlorophyll. So your body doesn't tell you go eat lettuce. It tells you go have a Dorito or something. And, because that's what you're mentally used to when you think of salty snacks. But what you really need when you're craving salty foods is more chlorophyll. So I have you starting oh, look, everyone's popping in. The text must be going through at different times to people. Hello, everybody. I have you start your day with a green juice because it kind of sets you up for success for the rest of the day. It curbs your cravings. It alkalizes your blood, which is also amazing for disease prevention. And it kind of is the way I start all my programs. Then from there, there's guidelines given with the program. For the new guys here, we're talking about the new protein method, just so you know. There's guidelines given that tell you how to eat snacks and meals, how to structure your day. It's all very simple to follow and very clearly outlined for you. The difference with this program from the Stay Skinny method is that I have all the recipes with macros calculated. So your main macronutrients are calculated. So that way you can really adapt the program to fit your individual protein requirements and needs based on how much you work out or don't work out. And it also is broken into 2 types of days. So you'll see a plan laid out for low intensity workout days, which has less calories and a little less protein, and high intensity workout days with more calories and more protein to sustain more intense workouts. So it's very clearly explained in your insert in your box. And so far, like I said, people are really loving it. So hopefully if you try it, you will love it too. The next that you probably have seen in the last month is the half-day juice cleanse. Now we're pretty excited about that because obviously one of the main complaints or concerns we get from people is that they're afraid of being hungry while they cleanse. They're not going to be able to sustain 3 or 5 days without eating. So the half-day juice cleanse incorporates juices, and an all-natural veggie burger that we make. So what it is basically day 1 is a 5-day skinny cleanse, traditional skinny cleanse, nothing different there. And days 2 through 5 are just drinking juices half the day. And then at dinner time, you are having the veggie burgers we provide, and you can eat them just as they are. It's lentils and vegetables, basically, is what they're made of. Or you can use one of the very simple recipes I give you. There's like 4 simple recipes that you can have with them. And the amazing part is when we tested this with our test group, it basically had the same kind of weight loss results as our skinny cleanse, very, very similar results, which makes sense because calorically it's the same. I balanced it out to be the same when I made the assortment. But it's nice because you can actually have a full dinner with your family, even though it might be a different dinner than they're having. So those veggie burgers come to you frozen, already fully cooked. You just have to basically warm them. And there's instructions with the different ways to warm them in the box as well. So before I go on to the next product, anybody have questions about either of those two? Protein method or half-day juice cleanse? Or if you've used them, I'd love to hear your feedback if you've already tried them. These are all new products for the new guys here. These are all new products that we've launched within the last month and a half, some of them even yesterday. And I thought it would be good to take some time to explain them in more detail for people. So that's what I decided to talk about today. All right, so the third is our new instant smoothie detox cleanse. Now, I don't know if you've seen this one. This has been almost a year in the works because if you've ever tried any powdered cleanses on the market or powdered products on the market, there's a zillion of them. They all taste awful. I tried literally everyone we could possibly find. I think I must have tasted 12 or 15 of them by the time I was done. And I could not stand the flavor of any of them. They all have this like stevia or monk fruit in them to sweeten them, which I find not only sickly sweet, but also, there's detrimental health effects of all those sweeteners, even the more natural ones. So I definitely didn't want to use any of those. And I also found them just to be, what's the word, just they were flat in flavor. They were just pretty much sweet and nothing else, and it wasn't pleasant. So I really wanted to create something that not only would be nutritionally superior, but also would taste superior. And we totally accomplished that with this. It was a very long process. So we worked with a company to help us. And this instant smoothie detox cleanser, little sachets that you get, little packages, and it's just powdered fruits, vegetables, and nuts. So there is no added sugars, there's no float agents, there's no coloring agents, there's no nothing, but it's basically the exact same thing that you get in our juices and our smoothies, but in a powdered form, in a low temperature powdered form. And so you put it into water or in clean plant milk, like an oat milk, and the one thing they don't do too easily is they don't stir in with a spoon, because I didn't include any flow agents. Like a flow agent is like when you, or an anti-caking agent, that's what you see in like salt and a lot of like the Crystal Light packets. And that stuff is all proven to be carcinogenic, which means cancer causing. So I don't want anything like that in any product that comes out of our company. So even though it was a bit of a battle to get the company to agree to make my recipes the way I wanted, they eventually gave in. And they do mix perfectly fine if you shake them in a shaker bottle or even with a little mini immersion blender or in a blender. But shaker bottle that you can bring on the go works just as well. And the way I structured these, it's a 3-day cleanse. You get 6 packets in a day. There's 2 flavors. So there's 3 flavors, I mean. So it's 2 of each flavor per day. And what I suggest on the box there, as far as instructions, is to have the first half of your day, the 3 packets mixed with water. Just like I tell you, if you've been here before, light to heavy in the day, light to heavy is with everything I suggest. So the first half of the day is with water. And then I suggest the second 3 packets of the day be mixed with a clean oat milk. A brand like Malk is a clean one. It's just oats and water. Don't get a plant milk or an oat milk that has seed oils or sugars or anything added to it. A lot of plant milks are really full of junk. So the brands I trust are Malk, 3 Trees, and Elmhurst. They're always clean. They're just water and either nuts or oats. I will tell you that when you mix these flavors in with the oat milk, it is so good. I mean, I just drink them for fun. That's how good they taste. So they're totally nutritionally balanced. So you can drink them just for nutritional, support, or you can do it as an actual full-out cleanse. And the same rules apply for this type of cleanse as with our regular juice cleanses. You can have the fruits and the veggies with it and everything like that. And all that's written for you on the box with the detox cleanse. This only comes in a 3-day option at this point. So any questions about that one? Okay. All right. Next, this will not apply to everyone by any means. It might apply to someone that you know, but we have a new bridal reset that came out last month. And so this is specifically designed for brides or bridesmaids or family of the brides. It's a reset that's for 5 days that can be done together. I mean, obviously it's usually for women, so sorry guys that are in this group. But This is not just a weight loss cleanse, although it does help you lose weight, but it's actually, we specifically chose these recipes because they target different needs of the brides to be. So there's a recipe called hair glow and skin glow and deep bloat and beauty sleep. There's a beauty sleep shot, the things that brides deal with in that stressful time before planning a wedding. So this can be used either as a cleanse right before your wedding or as a regular support that you can do for weeks or months leading up to your wedding, just to keep you feeling well, not sick, having better energy, getting better sleep, and just keeping a calmer state of mind. So if you know someone who's getting married, it's a great gift. If you are getting married yourself, or if you have, if you're in a wedding, it's great to do with bridesmaids or a bridal party. And that's what that's all about. And then last, you've probably seen, is our brand new metabolism boost. This is a whole new area for raw generation, and we're really excited about it. We're doing it right in-house in our facility. Since I've been at Raw Generation, which is now over 3 years, our CEO tasked me with finding something to do with our juice pulp, because we have all this juice pulp that has nutrients in it that we have to throw out every single week. Literally tons of it get flushed down the drain every week, as we're, of course, making cold pressed juice. So we're filtering out the fiber, or not all the fiber, but a lot of the fiber to give you guys juice. And so all that pulp has nutrients still in it, and it's just getting wasted. So after a lot of different I tried a lot of different things, but one idea I had was drying it. We have dehydrators that low temp dry things, so it keeps it still keeps the nutrients still active, and powderizing it. So we actually now have started dehydrating our juice pulp, and we powderize it in-house with just like regular blenders, and we're able to make this pulp powder that we can put in supplement form for extra fiber and nutrients, and we are adding different things to it. So the metabolism boost has berberine added to it. So if you haven't heard of berberine, they call it nature's Ozempic. It's a ancient Chinese herb. It's been around for hundreds of years. People use it now for weight loss, but it's also great for stabilizing blood sugar. So the metabolism boost has a blend of, mostly it's our fiber, our pulp fiber, and then it has the berberine added to it, as well as cinnamon and L-carnitine, which is another plant-based source for blood sugar control. And let me tell you, it's working amazingly so far for people. And what we are testing right now is we are finding that when people take it, or different variations of it, we're trying all different kinds of formulas. It helps, like if you eat, for example, if you were to eat like a pancake without it, and have a pancake with it, your blood sugar is more stable when you have it because of the fiber in it. So we're working on a new formulation for something to help with that for people with blood sugar. But in the time being, we have the metabolism boost. It's totally shelf stable, obviously. It's not cold pressed. Does it cause jitters? Not that we've heard. No, it should not cause jitters. It doesn't really have anything in it that should cause that. Like I said, it's primarily the fiber from our pulp, and then we just add, I can't remember the milligram dosage we add to it. It's right there on the bottle, though, if you want to look on the website. But no one has reported that as of yet, and we've had quite a few people trying it. So the idea is you take 6 caps a day. So if you're doing it with a juice cleanse, if you want to accelerate your weight loss or boost your weight loss even more with a juice cleanse, you take 1 pill with each juice so 6 a day, 1 with each juice of your cleanse. If you just want to have it at meal time when you're just eating regular food, it's 2 pills per meal that you take along with your meal. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner is the idea. That is my list of the newest, latest, and greatest products. So before anything else, does anyone have any questions about any of those or any other products that you're currently using or thinking about using on the Raw Generation lineup?
Yeah, I have a question. The pulp berberine capsules, like yes. How many capsules come in a bottle? How much is it?
It's 180 caps in a bottle. The price, I want to say, let me look, is $39.99, I think. Yes, $39.99, 180 capsules, and it's 6 a day is the serving that we recommend. I mean, you can certainly do less, but that's what we recommend to get the dosage. So it's like a 30-day supply is what it basically is. They're all vegan, non-GMO, just like all our stuff is. Nothing is compromised at all with the formulation of these at all. So totally soy-free, allergen-free.
Lisa, I have a question.
Hi.
Hi. I started with a protein cleanse, and I noticed 3 different protein mixes, one with chocolate, one vanilla, and one peanut butter.
Yes.
Then I switched to the meal replacement pack, and the peanut butter one is missing. Why is that?
Okay, that's 2 separate things. So the protein cleanse has 3 smoothies in it. like you said, the chocolate cashew, the peanut butter, and the vanilla cashew, those have like anywhere from, I think it's 8 to 10 grams of protein in each. And the calories are, I want to say around maybe 350-ish, I think, for those. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. But the meal replacement pack are different recipes. So those two recipes are called chocolate protein and vanilla protein. They have higher protein. They each have 16 grams of protein, and they also have more calories. They're complete meal shakes. They're meant to replace a full meal. They're like 450 or 480 calories each. So it's a different kind of function. They're not for cleansing. They're for people that want to replace like their dinner or their lunch every day, or to have more protein support because they do intense workouts.
Okay.
So we didn't make a peanut butter milkshake flavor is the answer to your question. Basically, we just made 2 flavors of those. It's not the same recipe.
Will you consider adding the peanut butter flavor?
I don't know. What we do have is chocolate peanut butter cup, which is 14 grams of protein. That's in the Stay Skinny method, but you can also get it in the Build-A-Box. And that's pretty close. That tastes like a Reese's peanut butter cup. You could also make a Build-A-Box anytime with the flavors that you like. So you could put the vanilla and chocolate protein if you prefer those over vanilla cashew and chocolate cashew. And you can add, the regular peanut butter smoothie that you had in the past, or the chocolate peanut butter smoothie. That might be the best way to do it. At this point, we don't have plans to make any more new flavor for meal shakes. We're going to stick with those 2 for now.
Okay, thank you.
We always like suggestions though, because you never know. Sometimes they really spark good ideas. Will burgers be available outside the half-day juice cleanse pack? Hey, Bridget, right now they are not. And the main reason for that is because we have to be careful. We have to pack things in a way that they stay frozen in transit, no matter where you are in the country, up to 2 days away transit. So at this current time, we have not come up with a way to ship them with other things that everything stays frozen, but we're working on it actually. So in which case they'll be available in the Build-A-Box when we come to an assortment that works. I'm sure it will be happening. It just is not happening yet. That's actually why it's only available as a 5-day juice cleanse, because that's the assortment that stays frozen the best. And it's also the most common assortment people buy. People choose to get a 5-day cleanse over any other 3, 5, 7, or 10. People choose 5 the most frequently. So it made sense in 2 ways. What did I miss? Nothing? Okay. By the way, we're talking products right now, but you can ask questions if you haven't been here before about anything. It can be just anything nutrition, any nutritional topic. It doesn't have to be something about this specific topic of the day or our products specifically. I mean, I've been a nutritionist for over 20 years. So if there's a question that you have, I'm happy to answer them. That's part of your benefit of being in the Juice Club. I just always like to talk first about the topic of the day to get those kinds of questions out of the way first. So just so you know. Anything else relating to that first before I go on to anything else?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Hi, Portia.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thanks.
I think I had mentioned I had cancer. It was 10 years ago, though. And I do go to an integrative medicine doctor who follows me. And she loves your products. She's just concerned about, how much sugar, even though it's natural for me. She's not told me not to do it, but I do more like 3-day cleanse or something that's a little shorter.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had some type of a program you recommended for people that have had cancer? And
we don't have a cancer specific program, and within my raw generation role, I can't really give that kind of advice. Outside as a nutritionist, I certainly can, but I can't. But I will tell you that as far from a sugar standpoint alone, that's a very common belief from medical practitioners and like dietitians and with the sugar. And I think you've heard me speak about this before, with fruit sugar being different than other types of sugar. I will tell you that with my own personal clients, I've had many, many cancer patients to come for alternative routines or care that they want support. And I never, ever shy away from high fruit or juice diets. I definitely push a lot of greens because the chlorophyll is super, super important because whether you know or don't know, this is just a stated fact, cancer cannot grow in an alkaline environment. It can only grow in an acidic environment. So keeping your body and your blood alkaline is really key, whether you're sick or healthy. And this goes for all chronic disease, actually, not all, but just about all chronic disease is the same situation as that. So that's why I'm always pushing a green juice a day or green smoothies or having your chlorophyll shots, because that chlorophyll alkalizes your blood and it just, it sets your body in a state to ward off disease more effectively. So those are always my main, what I've recommended to my autoimmune clients and also my cancer clients over the years is to get testing strips to test your pH. You test it with your urine, like you test like pool water, you just do it with your urine, and it will tell you right off if you're alkaline or if you're acidic. And if to me it would be a daily practice I would keep if I was a cancer survivor or a cancer patient, and I would just always make sure my body stayed alkaline. I've had lots of clients shrink non-cancerous and cancerous tumors by just keeping their body more alkaline. So I'm a real big believer in that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Where can you get those? Where can you get those strips?
Oh, like a typical pharmacy would carry them, or Amazon, I'm sure, has them. They're just like what's it called? I want to say litmus paper. Is that what it's called? It's just pH tester strips. And you don't want to do it in your, it'll tell you can do it with your saliva or your urine. Saliva is not an accurate indicator though, because the chemistry in your saliva is always changing from what you eat. So your urine is a much more accurate way to test.
Okay, but it looks like I did a search. It looks like testing water, and I'm not trying to test water pH. I'm trying to test
any liquid pH tester should work. It should work if it's a liquid pH test. I mean, I can't search at this moment because I'm in the middle of this meeting, but
sure.
Yeah, if you want to drop me an email, lisatesta@rawgeneration.com, so I'll have your contact information. I could forward it to you. There's a brand that I've given to my clients in the past. I just can't tell you the name of it off the top of my head, but I'm happy to send it to you if you want.
I sent you an email, but I never got a response. It might have gone to your spam or something. So I don't know.
lisatesta@rawgeneration. Because there is a Lisa of our generation that's not me. I'm lisatesta@rawgeneration.com.
I believe that's where I sent it.
I definitely never got it because I remember your name. I definitely never got that. You know what?
Yeah, Lisa Testa. Yeah.
Can you try sending it to me right now? And I'll check it before the call ends. I'll make sure I get it.
Okay, sure. Mm-hmm.
Amazon has them. I just found it. Just type in pH test strips for humans.
Oh, thank you. There you go. If you want to put the link into the message box, other people might be interested. That'd be, if you know how to copy and paste it, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I just sent it, the message that I sent, a while ago. So what was it called again on Amazon?
Type in pH test strips for urine and saliva. I'll put it in the chat box.
I'm doing it now. For urine and saliva. Okay, thank you.
It does not look like it's coming through. I feel like you must have a letter or something wrong somewhere in my email account.
Let's see. So, lisatesta@rawgeneration.com.
That is the right one.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it in your spam folder, maybe?
I don't even know if I have a spam folder here. I don't know. Oh, here, let me see. Maybe it is. Oh, yeah, there you are. Okay.
Oh,
I'll
so I actually sent you the same email that I sent, weeks ago for like, what's up?
Okay, I will respond to it after this call.
Sure.
I didn't even realize I had I'm not I had to become a Gmail user for this company. I used to just have I don't know, Mac Mail. So I never know how to use some of the full functions. I'm not a tech person at all. I'm a cooking food person. Oh, thanks for putting that link in there. I appreciate that. All right. So are we good to move forward, or are there other burning questions?
Yeah, I have another question. I've been noticing I have a lot of intestinal gas. So is there something for that? It's really crazy, and I'm a crazy amount.
Are you're noticing it more since doing different things? You're saying,
since being on the cleanse, I've actually also been having. You said with the juice cleanse, I could have what do you call it? I could have sweet potatoes and fruit and vegetables.
Mm-hmm. How many days are you to your cleanse at this point?
I'm 3 weeks in.
You mean you've been cleansing? How many cleanses have you done? You're just doing back-to-back cleanses, you mean?
Yeah, back-to-back, yeah.
So like back-to-back 7-day cleanses in a row, basically?
No, back-to-back 5-day cleanses. And then on the off days, I've been eating sensibly, nothing crazy. And the good news is I've been noticing, my cravings for bad things have like all but gone. It's very exciting. I'm very happy about that.
That's one of the good side effects for sure.
Yeah.
Are you doing the skinny cleanse? Which cleanse are you doing?
Well, I started with the skinny, then I switched over to the protein, and now I'm back to the skinny because I'm finding that the maybe I'll go back and forth because I'm finding that the smoothies get to be a little bit chalky and monotonous, and I don't like it as much.
Okay.
I mean, they're good when they first started, but after a couple of weeks, like, oh, I'm starting to get tired of these. So
okay. Usually, when there's any kind of bloating, intestinal gas, that's usually a mechanism of how you're combining foods and how your day's being structured of eating. If you're doing the skinny cleanse, that's less of a concern than the protein method. The protein method has fats in those smoothies, which is why it's so important to have the smoothies in the first part of the day and the juices in the first part of the day and the smoothies in the second part of the day, and to only have the fruits and stuff while you're having the juices. Because I don't know if you remember the whole fruit and fat conversation that we had in weeks past. If you're just doing a skinny cleanse and all you're eating is raw fruits and vegetables and like plain potatoes, that typically wouldn't cause a lot of gas, but it might be because your body might be adjusting. If you weren't a person that had a lot of raw fruits and vegetables prior to doing these cleanses, like if it's a total lifestyle shift for you, it could take a while for your body to adjust to having that much produce for sure. And it's not a bad thing. It's just your body trying to clean out your colon, basically. So what you can do, number one, is drink more water. Number two is to start having peppermint tea morning and night, because that's amazing. Helps you, like amazing digestive aid. Pure peppermint tea. Have with honey if you want, or whatever. I find that to be great. And then just be careful of what you are having. You definitely don't add any fat or anything to your days when you're cleansing, right? Like oil or nuts or anything like that.
Like a little bit of butter, a little bit of olive oil, so I shouldn't do that.
Those correct. Not if you're that when you're cleansing, you don't want to have fat with fruit, right? So if you're having these cold pressed fruit juices and then you're having butter or olive oil with it, that could definitely be adding to the bloating. Unless that's your last thing you have. So like if the potato, I'm assuming you're putting out a potato. If the potato is the very last thing you have before you go to bed, you're not having any juice with it and not having any juice after it, that could help as well. You could have a little bit of the oil or the butter then. Just like I was explaining, when you have your last meal of the day, it's when you would have fats. But then when you start putting those fats in your day, you don't want to be having fruit and stuff again till the next day. That makes sense.
Okay, cool.
Okay. All right. Let's see. So what I wanted to do was give you a little bit of a heads up with a couple new things that are coming down the pike, and also just ask for a little bit of feedback. They're work in progress ideas. I have them mostly baked out, but sometimes you guys give me really good ideas and I end up incorporating them or testing them or whatever. One that you may have heard me talk about before, this has also been a long time coming, is I'm working, I'd say more than halfway done with a skincare reset. So what I found was with our signature reset test group. So a signature reset is a 90-day plan that we have for weight loss, but also it's really meant to be a lifestyle reset. It teaches you how to completely change your whole lifestyle. And in 90 days, you learn how to really make long-lasting, like lifelong lasting habits. And what I found with the test group for this product is that specifically this one girl had adult cystic acne and scarring all her life, and it disappeared after she did the program. And that to me is a testament to chlorophyll and how well it works to healing skin, and also the clean diet that she was having. So I'm using that premise for the skincare reset. It's not a 90-day reset, but also I'm personally creating a topical mask or cream that is going to be raw honey based, and I've been working on it for a while. It's almost done. So it's going to be a mixture of inside and outside detox for your skin. So that's coming. I don't know exactly when, but it's coming. If anyone wants to be part of the test group for that, if you have troubled skin, pop your name into the comment box and I will include you for that group. I don't know when it'll be though, so don't be asking me. It'll be whenever everything gets made. It might be a little while from now, but it is coming. I just need your email address in the box and I'll write you down. I think Jen is not here, so let me see. Okay. Also coming, and this is something it's work in progress. This is not fully baked out yet, is I'm planning on doing a perimenopausal/menopausal program, because a lot of our customers are in that age group, and I'd say the majority of my clients also are in that age group of 45 to 55-year-old women who just their hormones shift unexpectedly sometimes, and weight loss becomes really a difficult thing. And then of course everything else, your skin texture changes, your hair texture changes, all the things that come along with it. Now, perimenopause, if you don't know, that's the 10 years before menopause. So that could start as early as age 40, depending on, your life cycle. Or it could start as late as age like 48, depending on when you're going to have menopause. But those 10 years, sometimes people don't feel anything. Sometimes people really do experience symptoms, but those are like imperative years to get your hormones balanced. So that way when menopause hits, you don't have that whole shock to your system. And I have had many clients actually in those perimenopausal years have very seamless transitions into menopause by balancing their hormones, liquid diet before doing that. So I'm trying to come up with a way to put my knowledge into a workable system for the masses to be able to use and actually be effective for them. If you have feedback or suggestions, I'm happy to take them. My questioning myself is how long of a program to make it, because to me, it should be either a weekly or a monthly program that can be done on repeat for however many months or years a person wants to do it going into that phase of life, possibly with adjustments that are going to happen after that phase of life. So obviously men, sorry again, but we're more women than we are men at this company, so we're doing the best to target both. But I'd say about 80% of our customers are female. So, but this is a really real issue for women and their husbands too, because it affects every part of life. So, this is what I'm working on. So, any feedback or suggestions are always welcome for that. And one other question I was going to ask you guys is, we now have equipment coming in-house to make something that's going to be similar, what we're calling blender shots at the moment. So it's going to be basically like smaller, I guess, cubes that can go into smoothies. So whether that's a green juice concentrate that you can add to your own smoothie anytime you want, whether it's a pre-made smoothie mix that people can add water or milk to and just taste good. I also have the thought of making them kind of be water enhancers, like for teenagers that carry their Stanley cups everywhere they go, and it actually ends up being nutritional, like a water enhancer instead of the junk that kids put in their water to give it flavor in school. So those are my ideas that we're working on here. But again, if there's something you think you would like to see, or that you would use more than another, love to hear any feedback with any of that. And lastly, is now that we are officially in the vegan non-GMO supplement business, that anything that we make in a supplement form will be based with our fruit and juice pulp, because that's what we want it to be. We want, there's nothing on the market that we could find that has actual fruit and vegetable fiber. All fiber supplements are made from like psyllium husk and things like that. They're not grain-free, and ours are. So anything that we do is going to have that as the pillar of why we're doing it. So if there's a function that you think you would like, I would love to have a function to help me sleep better. I would love to have this, like something that I can work with. I would love that feedback too. So this is the point where you can either get feedback or switch back to asking questions, or none of the above, but the floor is yours.
What's the deal with xanthan gum? Like, is that a terrible, horrible thing, or not bad?
Well, I try to promote staying away from all gums and fillers, because they're not natural. Most of them are known to cause autoimmune disorders. They contribute to things like infertility and ADD. Different ones cause different things. I couldn't tell you xanthan gum specifically, but I definitely don't like xanthan gum for many reasons. Lots of times it's soy derived. I personally can't even attempt to eat it because I have I get splotches all over my face if I eat anything that's derived from soy or is soy. So yeah, and it's in a lot of natural products. They use that because people they kind of glaze over it. Like you'll see it in like almond milk and soups like in a box and stuff like that are organic and natural. But you can find them ones that don't have it, and I do recommend finding ones without gums
Yeah, I found Malk.
Oh, yep.
I
That's a great
that,
brand.
and then I did research and I found a sugar-free hot sauce without any xanthan gum in it. So
Oh, good.
that was
Yeah, they do exist. One brand that has good condiment type things is called Primal Kitchen. If you've heard of them, they have really
yeah.
clean condiments. The cleanest I found, if aside from making your own brand, aside from making your own recipe, that's the cleanest brand I found for those kinds of things. I believe they're all gum free. They're definitely no seed oils, which I love about them. Yeah. Oh, Gary, you don't have to raise a hand.
Oh, I felt like I had to. Is there a direct correlation of your metabolism speed to your age? Does it slow with age?
Well, it's so interesting. That's an interesting question, Gary. That is like a very debated topic in the natural and the not natural worlds out there. Some people say that you can't physically speed up your metabolism no matter what you do to it. Some people say it is what you're born with, and others say that you can. And some people say that it slows down, and some people say that, like I said, it just stays the same. What I have found is that I do feel, it's hard for me to even to say too, because I feel like it has so much to do with how you structure your whole life. And if your body systems are working properly, your metabolism also works properly. I think I'm personally a good case in point of that, because as I've told you, if you've been, so you've heard lots of my talks before. When I was young, I would say I had no metabolism, because, I'm in my early to late teens, and I can't drop an ounce no matter what I do. And at that age, it's not usually difficult for kids to drop weight, but I couldn't. And it wasn't until I really learned how to eat biologically correctly that my body completely just like normalized. And I feel like my metabolism also normalized, because the amount of calories that I now consume is unreal. And they're all healthy calories, but I don't restrict. As you know, I don't restrict at all. I don't even think about it. I haven't counted a calorie in well over 15 years. So, whether that's a mechanism of just eating proper calories, or it's a mechanism of my body better being able to process them now and having that better metabolism, I couldn't really tell you. But my gut feeling is that any system in the body can be better or degrade if you don't take care of yourself. So just on that like basic principle alone, I would say that yes, it probably does slow down to an extent with age. But what also happens with age, and it's probably more this, is that your ability to uptake nutrients definitely changes, and that is proven. So and that's why, like, so often, like, much older people than you will like crave really sweet things and only want like cakes and things like that, or have lesser appetites. And that's why a lot of elderly people have problems having enough food, or enjoying eating. They start eating junk when they never did in their past and stuff, because number one, your taste buds change, and number two, you're just not getting the nutrients and you need to stop those cravings. So you're just craving more intense flavored foods. But the way to combat that is to keep chlorophyll in your life like the rest of your life. And that will never happen, because chlorophyll is what allows your body to uptake nutrients properly. So, I don't know if I ever told you about this in the past, but I'd say like a good majority, I would go as far as to say more than 70% of the American culture probably has low or no stomach acid if they were tested, because it happens to almost everyone that has high stress in their life, because it's very sensitive, your balance of your hydrochloric acid in your stomach. And it can be tested, but what does happen in 3 to 6 months of having daily chlorophyll is your hydrochloric acid balances again. It can be restored without having to do HCl tabs or anything else. And then when you start uptaking nutrients properly, you start craving less foods. You start being able to eat better portions of foods and being satisfied, which I'm sure you've seen in your own life with the last couple of years of everything you've been doing with our stuff. So I don't know if that helps answer your question or not, but that's the best I understand it to be.
It does answer my question. And over the past few years, things have dramatically changed in my life, in that I don't have the appetite that I once did for the sweets, etc. And that's because of the program. But I'm thinking, okay, now I'm older, and maybe it's time to, everybody talks about taking all kinds of supplements, which I don't do because I do green juices, etc. But maybe your metabolism boost might be a supplement that's worth taking, 2 pills a day or something like that in order to just,
Prevent.
ward off my aging process.
I mean, that's a great thought. Hypothesis is not a bad idea to try by any means. I mean, you're accurate in thinking that you don't need a lot of supplements because of the juice that you're having. I am typically not, as you know, a believer in too much supplementation unless it's absolutely necessary. However, I don't dislike ours because I know that there's nothing bad in it. Like most supplements I don't believe in because there's no FDA regulation with them. So I don't know what the heck companies are putting in them. And I have no guarantee that they're actually even putting the potency, something that they're saying, because there's nothing to regulate that. But I know it's in ours because I made the recipe up and I see what the people are doing. So I totally believe in ours. So, do I think it's a bad idea? No, I don't think it's going to hurt you in any way. And if anything, it can only benefit you. I don't think you would need, like you said, the full 6 a day. That probably would be overkill for you because of what you're already doing. But it might not be a bad idea.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah. See if you notice. I don't know if you notice any difference.
Yeah, I mean, I buy a bottle. It'll last me 3 months if I take 2 a day.
Yeah. So you could see. I mean, keep me posted because I'm curious.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah. So I missed a question or two. What is the absolute latest you can consume the juices after defrosting? Is it really only 24 hours or any flexibility on that? I'm legally only allowed to say 24 hours. So let's just put it at that. I can't safely tell you can have them longer than 24 hours because I never know how people are going to treat or handle their juices. So, if they abuse them and have them out of the fridge too long, all kinds of things. And all fresh juice does turn bad very quickly, and it should turn bad very quickly because there's nothing in it preserving it. So safely within 24 hours is what you want to aim for. Have I had them over 24 hours myself on occasion? Yes, that's me personally. So,
I have a question. Do you have any thoughts about like every couple of weeks ago, I get like these horrible leg cramps in the middle of the night. I started taking this supplement. I know you don't believe in supplements so much, but
sometimes I do. It just depends on the quality.
Yeah, but I started taking. It's too early to tell if it's working, but I started taking this supplement called cinchona bark, CINCHONA bark. That's supposed to be help with leg cramps. I don't know if you ever heard of that or if you have any thoughts about leg cramps, what I'm missing maybe causing it.
I don't consider myself an expert with supplementation because, like I said, it's not something I typically do. I do know magnesium would help you substantially with that.
Yeah, I take a magnesium supplement. Yeah, and that wasn't enough apparently. So
okay, yeah, I'm sorry, that's not my area.
I understand. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Did I miss another one?
I another question. So,
sure.
Like, I'm kind of mixing and matching, like, sometimes it'll be all juices, and then sometimes it'll be like some of the protein shakes. I don't know if that's like bad or wrong. And also, I'm just wondering, like, I know you said something about fats, like don't have them with juices, but
yeah,
can I have them with protein shakes?
Sure, it's not bad to mix them. I mean, from a health standpoint, it's not bad no matter what you do. From a weight loss, bloating, whatever, digestion standpoint, right. It's always better to have light earlier and then heavier later and not to mix the two. So that means having your more water rich, the juices first, and keeping your smoothies all for like the second half of your day. That's just that's just a better way to structure it.
So maybe the smoothies for dinner, and then if I had like a sweet potato, I could have it then with like real butter.
Yeah, I mean, I would even tell you at that point you could even have like a white potato too, because it would be even less sweet, and you would just have like the more savory kind of stuff. But either way, yeah, you could have it with a little butter, and it probably wouldn't hurt anything.
Right. Just don't have juices and fats in the same meal. You're saying, is that it?
Correct.
Okay. And my other question is, so like, I found that like the juices by themselves was just not enough sustenance. I was starving. Right. But if I want to save my potatoes and fats along with the protein drinks for dinner, what could I have to supplement my breakfast and lunch if the juices aren't enough and I'm still really hungry. That would be, yeah.
So you're looking for more like of a system rather than like a strict cleanse, it sounds like. So because if you're going to keep doing this for a long term, so this is kind of like more like a stay skinny method kind of a system. But what you could do is you can have like low or no, like low fat, low calorie things, not low calorie, low fat things. So you could have things like any kinds of vegetable. You can have your potatoes earlier in the day too. It's all, just don't put fat in them earlier in the day. You can have beans. You could have cooked steamed vegetables, for dry roasted vegetables without oil on them. You could have even something like a quinoa or an oatmeal or something like that, because those things are lower in fat. And you can have those earlier in the day if you want.
And I guess not eggs in the morning.
Correct. Eggs would be a dinner meal if you're trying to eat best way for your digestion. Eggs are like end of the day dinner, or like a later snack. Like if you want a hard-boiled egg, have it like after 4 o'clock or something.
I see. So anything with fats doesn't go with juices, and have like protein shakes and maybe fats with it later in the day. Okay. All right. I think I got it.
You can have all, I mean, there's no restriction on fruit, vegetables, or like low fat things you can have during the day. You can have all that you want. It doesn't have to be just like an apple or a handful of grapes or something. You could have a whole bag of grapes if you wanted, or, whatever you want.
How about avocados? They're considered a vegetable, or maybe they're considered a fruit, but they're
a fruit, but they're a fat. You treat them like a fat. That would be a nice
that's what I figured. And bananas are okay?
Anytime for bananas, as long as they're ripe, brown speckled.
Got it. Okay, great. Thanks.
You're welcome. Leslie, let's see. Are nuts a good snack between juices? I tend to feel like I'm eating something crunchy. Okay, Leslie, no. I don't recommend having nuts as a snack ever, whether cleansing or not cleansing, if your goal is weight loss. If your goal is not weight loss and you just want to be healthy, they're a healthy snack if you don't overdo them. If your goal is weight loss or weight maintenance, nuts are way, way, way too easy to overeat. And let me explain where my mentality comes from with that. So if you think about, like, I always bring food back to how it is in nature before we do whatever we do to it. So if you take like walnuts on a tree, if you've ever seen a walnut tree, they look like a tennis ball. You have to break through all that like stuff of a tennis ball before you get to the nut. You have to break the nut shell to get into the nut. It would take you a good probably 10 or 15 minutes to get to one walnut to be able to eat it as nature has it for us. So if you go and buy a bag of dried walnuts or walnuts, you can easily eat a handful of 20 of them in 2 minutes thinking nothing of it, because it just goes right down like a popcorn or something. So just the sheer caloric density of them and fat in them, while it's a healthy fat for sure, and I definitely believe in eating them, having them as a snack is just too easy to overeat and to end up becoming like a real extra source of calories, unless, like you said, unless you're trying to gain weight or you don't have a problem with your weight. So what I do for nuts is I use them usually as a condiment on a salad, like I sprinkle them on as a condiment, or I blend them into dressings, or I use them as nut butters because they're easier to digest and you eat less of them that way. So I mean, I eat nuts all the time. I eat like sesame seed tahini on my dressing all the time, or I'll use almond butter in some desserts that I make, and I'll certainly put like pine nuts or sesame seeds and things on my salads. I don't shy away from them, but I'll never just grab a handful of almonds and just like eat them, unless I'm actually just going to have a legitimate like 10 almonds as a handful. But most people don't count them out and eat just a small amount. So if you have the kind of like willpower to only have a small amount of them, then sure. But similar to what I was just saying, I don't know your first name because it says Newmark Digital Presentation, so I don't have a first name to call you by.
Sure, sorry, Dan. I don't know why it comes up that way, because in other chats it comes up with my name. I don't really get it. My email is Newmark Digital Presentation.
Okay.
Yeah.
So similar to what I was saying to Dan, you don't want to mix fruits and juices together, or fruits and fats together. I mean, yes, fruit and fat together ever for digestion's sake, because that's always going to cause bloating and slower weight loss, or in fact, sometimes weight gain. So like those fruit and nut bars, dried fruit and nut trail mix, those things that are, yes, they're healthy ingredients as far as a health standpoint, they're not good for weight loss. So nuts should be a later in the day thing. Ideally, they should be raw, not roasted or salted, and ideally blended or soaked. They're easier to digest that way. So if you want something salty and crunchy while you're cleansing, I usually recommend like cucumber sticks, like salted or something like that. That's a kind of a good like little crunchy, salty snack. And when you're cleansing, most anything tastes good if it's not juice. So just have something different. Does that help? Good. Okay. And Portia, you raise your hand.
Yes. I'm 70 and I'm just trying to, I've done the 3-day cleanse, 5-day cleanse. But I kind of get off of it. But what do you consider like something that's a good plan for me to use to jumpstart weight loss? I'd like to lose, maybe 10 pounds, 15 pounds.
Okay. And I'm sorry, the beginning of what you said, you just did a 3-day cleanse?
Yeah,
You
I've
just
done the cleanse and a 5-day cleanse. I've done the stay skinny cleanse too.
And then do you
But
feel like, do you usually lose weight with them or you don't?
I did do just like 5 pounds, but then it doesn't seem to be going anywhere after that.
Okay. Did you ever do the stay skinny method for more than 1 week in a row, or did you just try it like once?
I only did that once, so I was
Okay.
considering to do it more if that's
Yeah, I mean,
better.
ideally, that's kind of meant like the way I had it in my mind was that a customer would do a cleanse or not do a cleanse, up to them. But the cleanse is kind of like the jump start to weight loss, because you can lose a lot of weight in a short amount of time. Ideally, you can lose 5 or 7 or 8 pounds in 3 or 5 or 7 days, sometimes even more. And then if you do the first day skinny method directly after that, it kind of, you maintain your weight loss from the cleanse, and then you're welcome. So nice to have you here. And then you do the stay skinny method after to lose 2 or 3 more pounds, like every week, until you hit your goal weight, kind of. And that's how I tested it and how it worked for people. So it's not really meant to be like a one-time product. It's meant to be a repetitive weekly system to help you. And then in the process of doing it for a few weeks, you kind of learn how to structure your day of eating so that you can do it with or without the product going forward. Like if you don't want to keep buying it after a couple months, you've learned by that point how to do it on your own.
Okay.
The other system we have is the signature reset. It's more costly. Gary, I don't know if you want to talk about it, because Gary was one of the first groups to do it. He was the first group to do it, actually. And I mean, it literally changed his life. He's a different person now because of it. That's a 90-day program. So the whole premise behind that is that you actually learn new habits. You do it for so long, because you can't really learn a new habit in a few weeks. It takes 45 days or more to actually make a habit. That's what we found with our testing. And that's why we made it 90 days. Because once you hit that 45-day mark, it becomes habitual to buy certain things in the store. It becomes habitual to have your juice. It feels weird if you don't have it. Prior to that, it's a mental, like, you have to make yourself do it. It's not natural. So if you're looking to like actually make a long-term healthy habit, that program's designed to help you lose 20 pounds and to keep it off for life. That's called the signature reset.
Well worth it.
Yeah. I mean, because Gary, you had done like Weight Watchers and other things too. I mean, if you want to tell her.
Yeah, I've done them all. I did, Weight Watchers. I'm a lifetime member since 2006, and been up and down, up and down, up and down. And I still go to Weight Watchers only for accountability, and I use the tool that they have for recording food. And what I found for the first time in my life, I've stayed at what Weight Watchers calls goal for over a year now, because I brought it down using signature reset, and then following on with my green juices, a cleanse probably once every 3 months to clean out those bad cookies and cakes and ice cream that I still love. But it definitely changed my life. So and I did it when the price was higher than it is right now, so it's a better deal now.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, even when Gary did it, and though it was a high price, it was even the product alone, when Gary paid the higher price, was still less than just the per bottle price. And now it's even like, I think $200 less than what Gary bought it at. And that's where we're keeping it at this point. So I mean, it's not just the juices you're getting. It's like there's a 12 video e-course that I teach. So it's basically as if like you sat one-on-one with me for 2 hours as a new client. It's everything that I would normally give a client. And I also have guides that you can print or look at on your phone. So like an eating out guide, how to food shop, how to, with healthy swaps, how to make adjustments if you're menopausal, how to meal prep checklist, like everything you could think of. There's like 11 different guides and 55 recipes that are also super, easy to do, manageable. Leslie, thank you for being here. So it's as comprehensive as a program could possibly be if you really are looking for a life overhaul.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
So I just wanted to ask. I wanted to like clarify. I wrote this down, but I want to make sure I got it right.
Yeah.
So so for breakfast and lunch is I can have juices, potatoes, but with no butter or oil, maybe with salsa,
Yep.
smoothies with frozen banana. Like I can do that.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, great. And then for dinner, I'd have eggs, protein shakes, avocados, potatoes with butter. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, and if you're a meat eater, you can also have like if you're gonna have chicken and fish and stuff, that could be at dinner time too. That's when you would have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. And what I bet you probably frown on sushi.
I don't frown on sushi. I actually eat sushi, but I make clean choices when I get sushi. So like most sushi has a lot of junk, like the tempura is no good, and like the sauces.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah.
I mean, I am classic, especially if I'm going out on a date and I don't want to weird someone out before they know that I'm weird how I eat. I'll like go to a sushi place and I can easily get 4 or 5 rolls. I just get like avocado rolls or avocado cucumber rolls or mango rolls, whatever. I just get the vegetable rolls and I'll eat the rice and seaweed in them. It's delicious and it's totally clean and it doesn't affect my weight whatsoever. I don't even think twice about how much I eat of it. So you can definitely have sushi. It's actually a great choice for fast food if you're eating a healthier lifestyle.
Right. Because so like I'm trying to do the juices and the smoothies like 5 days a week, and then the other days just try to eat really sensibly. And I wasn't sure if like sushi was. I mean, obviously not the tempura garbage. I wouldn't have that, but you
can get the edamame.
Okay.
That's good. Edamame is a good option too. The avocado salads are usually a good option. I get the dressing on the side, just a little bit of it. But their dressing is actually usually like blended carrots. It's not usually even that bad. There's some sugar in it usually. But most places have similar stuff, and you definitely can make clean choices at a sushi place.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say again, and thank you so much that like I have sleep apnea, which is a totally different topic, obviously, but and I just insomnia and my sleep has never been great. But I used to like, I know Diet Coke is poison, but I couldn't help it. Like I felt that I absolutely had to have it or I'd fall down. And since I've been doing these juices and smoothies, I don't reach for it. Like I don't want it anymore. It doesn't appeal to me. And that's like, even if I don't lose a pound, that all by itself, the fact that I feel like healthier, that I have like this integrity is just like worth its weight in gold. It just feels so good.
Oh, that's awesome. I love to hear that. That's really like, that's the difference of when you start to really nourish your body. And it does take a while. It doesn't happen overnight. But when your body starts realizing it's going to keep getting good nutrients on a regular basis, it stops craving junk.
Yeah. I definitely noticed that. And it's like things that I would usually fall prey to, like, I don't want it. It doesn't appeal to me. So that's like really exciting. And I guess I was kind of unhappy that I wasn't losing any weight, but I'm sure, and a lot of bloating, but I'm sure a lot of it had to do with what you told me not to do now. Don't have fats and juices in the same meal. So
that will make a difference for you for sure. Yeah.
Great. Awesome.
Yeah. Good questions, Dan. I'm sure other people have the same questions you have, so never be afraid to ask them. Yeah,
where is the berberine supplement on your site? I'm looking.
It's under Weight Loss Systems, I believe, is where they have it.
Okay, great. Awesome. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And will that work only if you're doing the skinny cleanse, or will it work with a combination of the protein shakes and the?
It works with or without a cleanse, actually. So if you do it with a cleanse, you do 1 per bottle. If you do it without a cleanse, it's 2 per meal. So it doesn't matter. You can use it however you want to use it. It doesn't affect it positively or negatively, like differently with different cleanses, is what I'm trying to say.
And what else did you say was in it? The berberine.
It's berberine. Well, primarily it's our dried juice pulp, and then it's also berberine, L-carnitine, and cinnamon.
Awesome. Great. Thanks.
You're welcome. Ceylon cinnamon, which is the best for blood sugar control.
Great.
Yep. Well, we are just at our time, but if there's anything else, I'm happy to stay longer if I missed anybody's questions. I don't think I missed anybody's comments.
I have one other question. Someone told me that like if you put apple cider vinegar, 2 tablespoons with water and cayenne pepper and turmeric, that's like a good thing to have every day. Do you think that's nonsense, or do you think that's real?
It depends on what you're trying to do. I mean, there's a lot of benefit to real raw apple cider vinegar with the mother, like a Bragg's apple cider
Right.
vinegar. It's
That's
very
what
anti-inflammatory. Like my mother, she has arthritis, and when I make her apple vinegar, like she makes it out like her apple cider vinegar water, she'll put like a couple tablespoons in a bottle of water. She swears the pain goes away. And she's not the first person that said that to me, so I think it really has pretty amazing anti-inflammatory benefits. I don't. I mean, they tout a lot of other benefits for it, which I don't have any experience with this to speak yes or no to those. But it's not a bad thing to do. So, I mean, if you have like aches and pains you're trying to not have anymore, but if I don't know that it necessarily will help with like weight loss or anything particularly. I know it does help sometimes with psoriasis and skin issues, though. It does help clear up things like that.
Yeah, I have arthritis in one of my knees. And also, I don't know if it's the cleanse or not, but the pain in my knee is all but gone. Like I haven't experienced. I don't know if
what's happening is that you're having a primarily anti-inflammatory diet, because people don't realize they take anti-inflammatory pills, drugs, but everything we eat is either inflammatory or anti-inflammatory, and all raw fruits and vegetables are anti-inflammatory. The most anti-inflammatory, similarly to being alkaline and acidic, are dark greens. So when you're having your raw fruits and vegetable juices, you're basically flooding your body with anti-inflammatory nutrients. Whereas before, you were having super inflammatory foods like the Diet Coke and whatever else you probably were eating in the past. So when you take those inflammatory foods out and put anti-inflammatory foods in, you're not going to feel the arthritis nearly as much. I mean, you can sometimes totally reverse those kinds of things depending on how advanced it is. Yeah.
That's incredible. Does it matter if I log in or not log in with regard to the price of the berberine supplement?
I don't believe it should have any bearing on it.
Okay, it'll probably prompt me to. Okay, all right. Very good.
I don't know how that part works. I don't think it has anything to do with it, though. I think it's only the price. I believe is only affected if you subscribe to it. Otherwise, I think it's the same price for everybody.
Oh, and you subscribe, meaning like if you get 3 months, it's less
like
money.
If you auto ship to it, if you any product with our whole assortment, if you auto, like I'm assuming you must auto ship our cleanses because you're getting them every week.
Oh yeah, I auto ship.
Otherwise, you're definitely not saving the money you should be saving. But anytime you auto ship anything, you save 20% or sometimes 10% depending on the product, and you get free shipping. And you only have to have 2 shipments, and then you can like cancel anytime without any kind of penalty. So
awesome, great.
Yeah,
thank you.
You're welcome. Are we good, everybody else?
Yeah, we're at this Portia again.
Hi.
Find all the educational pieces like your 12 video e-course or that kind of thing.
That comes along with the purchase of the Signature Reset.
Okay,
The Signature Reset is that program. That's under the weight loss systems section in the website.
Okay.
It's also, I think, in the detox and resets page. I believe it's in there too.
Okay.
And all those guides, the recipes, all that I mentioned, that all comes as part of, like, you have kind of your own personal portal with that program, and you can sign in and watch the videos. You can go to the guides. You can print them, or you can just read them.
Okay.
But also,
are there
weekly support, like weekly emails from me with that system, text support. You get a welcome packet. It's pretty comprehensive. There's a whole lot of stuff that comes along with it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, you guys, if I'm not missing anybody else, I'm going to stop this recording and wish you all a good month. Till next month, I'll be back on the regular schedule, so it'll be the first Wednesday of next month for our next meeting. I don't know the date of that off the top of my head, but I know it'll be, let me check real quick. It'll be November the 6th, so you'll get the regular text and emails for that, like always. I do not currently have a topic in mind yet, so if there's something you're burning to know about, like in larger detail, I was debating possibly doing GMOs, but if you have an idea, feel free to let me know it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down here waiting for the hurricane in Florida, and I just got my raw generation delivered to me, so I'm hoping I don't lose my power.
Oh my, I hope you don't either. Where part of Florida are you in?
Fort Myers.
Okay.
So we're right in the big of it. They're having tornadoes all around us now, but it looks like we've skipped that. So we're in a hotel right now.
I've been praying for everybody down there. I have family down there.
Raw generations. I brought some with me, but I can't drink them all, so I'm I'm praying that our electric doesn't go out.
Oh, I hope it doesn't. Oh. You know, if it does and you lose it, just call. We'll replace it for you.
Yeah, well, thank you.
They're
Thank
so
you
good
very
about that. They don't even bat an eyelash with that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
don't even think about it if you lose your
That's good.
product.
All right. Well, we'll know tonight. It's gonna hit us late at night until 2 a.m. Thursday. So
Okay.
we'll
Well,
see.
wishing you all the best there.
Thanks. Yeah, well, our house got really hit in Ian, and then it came within 10 feet of the house in Helene. We're on the river, Caloosahatchee River. So we got flooded out, and we're out of our house for 9 months for Ian. And we just got everything pretty much put back together. So we're praying it doesn't flood this time.
Please. I hope not.
But yeah, it's crazy down here. But it's nice to listen to the video, listen to you guys today.
Well, it's good. I'm glad you were able to get a connection to join. So
Yeah, it's nice. Thank you very much.
you're welcome. And have a good one, everybody. Thanks for joining.
Thanks, Lisa. Bye.
Thanks, Gary. Good to see you.